In September 2025, Nepal witnessed unprecedented protest that shook the nation to its core, ultimately forcing the resignation of Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli. Here what's happened. It all started with a social media ban on September 4th, 2025. Nepalese government ordered the shutdown of 26 major social media platforms, including Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, WhatsApp, LinkedIn, Reddit, and Snapchat. The government claimed these platforms failed to register under new rules requiring compliances with local laws and to combat misinformation and hate speech. But for Nepalese youth, this was the final straw. What began as frustration over digital censorship quickly evolved into something much larger. Nepal's Gen Z population facing a staggering 20.8% youth unemployment rate saw the social media ban as yet another example of government overreach. The protests were fueled by deep-rooted anger over corruption among political elite, lack of economic opportunities, a viral Nepo Kids movement criticizing nepotism, year of political instability. By September 8th, thousands of young protesters had gathered outside parliament in Kathmandu. What started as peaceful demonstration quickly turned violent when security forces responded with force. On Monday, September 8th, the situation reached a breaking point. Police opened fire on crowd with live ammunition, rubber bullets, and tear gas. At least 19 to 22 protesters were killed and 100 injured in the deadliest day of the protest. The violence escalated dramatically on September 9th. Angry protesters stormed and set fire to the parliament building, attacked and burned politician home, set government building ablaze, looted business and snatched windows, forced the closure of Kathmandu main international airport for 24 hours. Under immense pressure, the government began to cave. On September 9th, Communication Minister Prithvi Subba Grum announced the lifting of the social media ban, saying, "We have withdrawing the shutdown of the social media. They are working now." But it was too late. The same day, facing unprecedented civil unrest and with parliament literally burning, Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli announced his resignation. With the government collapsed and violence spiraling, the Nepal Army stepped in to restore order. On September 10th, the army imposed a nationwide curfew from 5 p.m. to 6 a.m. the following morning. Armed troops deployed across Kathmandu main areas, finally bringing some resemblance of controls to the chaos-stricken capital. The resignation of PM Oli had done little to calm the unrest. If anything, it created a dangerous power vacuum. In an unprecedented move, the Gen Z protesters took democracy into their own hand in a massive virtual meeting involving 10,000 to 12,000 protest participants. They began the process of choosing their preferred interim prime minister. Initially, everyone's first choice was clear: Balen, the popular rapper turned mayor of Kathmandu. But when Balen gave no indication that he would accept the role of interim prime minister, the protesters had to look elsewhere. That's when they turned to 73-year-old Sushila Karki, Nepal's former Chief Justice and the first woman to hold that position. The selection process was ongoing, with Karki emerging as a consensus choice to represent their movement. The selection gained massive credibility when Balen, despite not accepting the interim PM role, himself threw his full support behind Sushila Karki. On his official Facebook account, Balen endorsed Karki's selection by the Gen Z protester. His post gave crucial legitimacy to their choice, bridging the gap between the youth movement and established political figures. With Balen's public endorsement, the protester had found not just a leader, but the political backing needed to make their voice heard at the highest level. Today, September 11th, marks a pivotal moment in this unprecedented crisis. A historic meeting is taking place between three key figures who will determine Nepal's immediate future. Nepal Army Chief, who has maintained order through the curfew, President Chandra Poudel, the constitutional authority, Sushila Karki, representing the voice of Gen Z protester. This meeting could formalize what the youth have already decided, that traditional political parties have lost their mandate and new leadership must emerge from the people's choice. The outcome of this discussion will determine whether Nepal witnesses a peaceful transition to a youth-backed interim government or if the political crisis deepens further. As we speak, the selection of Sushila Karki is still being finalized by the protester. The process itself is remarkable. Never before has a grassroots movement organized such a massive democratic constellation. Government leadership. With 10,000 to 12,000 young Nepalese participating in virtual discussion, this represents the largest direct democratic exercise in the country's recent history. The question remains, will the established political system accept this with chosen leadership? Can today's crucial meeting between the army chief president and the Karki create a path forward? Has Nepal pioneered a new model of people-powered political transition? What started as a protest against the social media ban has become the most extraordinary political experiment in Nepal's modern history. In just 7 days, Gen Z protesters didn't just topple a government, they created their own democratic process to choose its replacement. As today's crucial meeting between the Nepal Army chief president and the youth chosen representative unfolds, Nepal stands at the threshold of something unprecedented. With 10,000 plus young voices participating in direct democracy, Balen endorsement providing legitimacy, and the army maintaining stability, this small Himalayan nation may be writing a new chapter in how government can be chosen by the people for the people. The world watches as Nepalese youth prove that when democracy fails them, they won't just protest, they will build their own.